Have you ever wondered what would happen if monsters roamed our world? Let's take a moment to define monster in this context. We're not talking about your everyday creepy crawlies here. Rather, we're referring to creatures that are significantly different from known animals with exaggerated or unnatural features. Think dragons, chimeras, or the mythical kraken. These beings often possess abilities beyond the ordinary, challenging our understanding of biology and physics. In this hypothetical exploration, we'll be delving into the potential impact of such creatures on our ecosystems, human society and culture, and scientific understanding. We'll also ponder the ethical considerations that might arise and the possible economic and military uses of these awe-inspiring beasts. So, buckle up and prepare your imagination for a wild ride. Join us as we delve into a world where mythical creatures are no longer myths. Imagine a world where griffins soar in the skies and ents roam the forests. The presence of these mythical creatures, these monsters, would dramatically alter the ecosystems we are familiar with. How, you may ask? Let's explore. Predatory monsters such as griffins or werewolves with their extraordinary strength and abilities could ascend to the top of the food chain, becoming apex predators. Their hunting could drastically reduce the populations of their prey, leading to a ripple effect throughout the ecosystem. Some species may even be driven to extinction, with the balance of predator and prey dynamics thrown into disarray. But it's not just the predators we need to consider. Herbivorous giants like ents, the tree-like beings from the Lord of the Rings, could pose an equally significant challenge. With their enormous size and appetite, they would compete with other herbivores for food. The resulting scarcity could force some species to adapt, migrate, or even die out. The introduction of monsters into our ecosystems would not only disrupt established food chains, but also trigger unforeseen environmental changes. Their behaviors and activities, from the nests they build to the waste they produce, could alter habitats and influence other species in unpredictable ways. In this altered world, the balance of nature would hang in a delicate, unpredictable balance. The ecological ripple effects of monsters would be as vast and varied as the creatures themselves, reshaping our world in ways we can only begin to imagine. Beyond the ecology, human life would never be the same. In a world where monsters roam, our society and culture would experience profound shifts. Mythology and folklore, once considered fragments of our imaginative past, would take on new meaning. Tales of beasts like the Minotaur or the Loch Ness Monster would no longer be bedtime stories or tourist attractions, but historical accounts of human-monster encounters. Our understanding of history would be reframed through the lens of these extraordinary creatures. Would the Great Wall of China be viewed as a defense against dragons? Could Stonehenge be interpreted as a tribute to Earth giants? The reinterpretation of our past would be as exciting as it is unsettling. In the face of these formidable creatures, our living spaces would also have to evolve. Architecture and city planning would be revolutionized, not just for aesthetic appeal, but for survival. High walls and fortified structures would become a common sight, even in the smallest of settlements. Our homes would be our castles, designed to keep us safe from the unknown lurking just beyond our doorsteps. Our artistic and cultural expressions would also be influenced. Imagine music inspired by the haunting call of a siren, or fashion taking cues from the vibrant scales of a basilisk. Our creativity would be fueled by the diversity of these beasts. Our cities and our stories would reflect a world where humanity is no longer alone. Monsters would not just challenge our survival, but also our understanding of the universe. Imagine a world where dragons, griffins, and other mythical creatures are not just the stuff of lore, but real entities. This reality would not only transform our everyday lives, but also our scientific endeavors. The study of these extraordinary creatures would open up new frontiers in various scientific fields. In biology, for instance, understanding the anatomy of a dragon could redefine our knowledge of aerodynamics and combustion. Studying a gorgon's petrifying gaze could revolutionize our understanding of neurology and vision science. Genetics would encounter a whole new level of complexity. Decoding the genetic code of a multi-headed hydra might illuminate the secrets of cellular regeneration, potentially leading to breakthroughs in medical science. The study of a werewolf's transformation could provide insights into our own DNA, possibly revealing undiscovered aspects of human genetics. Physics, too, would be challenged. Unraveling the principles that enable a phoenix to rise from its own ashes could redefine our understanding of matter and energy. Then there's the field of ecology. Observing how these mythical creatures interact with their environment would offer invaluable insights into biodiversity and ecosystem dynamics, potentially informing conservation strategies in our current world. In essence, the presence of monsters would not just be a threat, but an opportunity for scientific advancement. The mysteries of these creatures could possibly lead us to breakthroughs we never imagined. In a world of monsters, the line between man and beast blurs. As we grapple with the presence of these mythical creatures, we're forced to confront a new set of ethical dilemmas. The question of rights, for one, becomes the center of debate. Do these creatures, so different yet so similar to us, have rights? Are we obligated to respect their autonomy, their habitats, their ways of life? With their formidable abilities, some may argue that monsters are threats that need to be contained or eliminated. Yet this perspective overlooks the possibility of peaceful coexistence. After all, history has shown that fear and misunderstanding often breed conflict. Could it be that our initial instinct to hunt or cage these creatures is misplaced? On the other hand, the conservationist's perspective calls for the protection and preservation of these creatures. They argue that each monster, regardless of its perceived threat, has an inherent right to exist. Moreover, the extinction of a monster species, much like the extinction of any animal species, could have far-reaching consequences on our ecosystems. But how do we balance our need for safety with our duty to protect? How do we ensure justice for all, in a world where all has taken on a new meaning? The presence of these creatures would force us to redefine our ethics and our responsibilities. This is not just about monsters, it's about us, our values, and the kind of world we want to create. With great power comes great temptation. Imagine for a moment a world where the mighty wings of dragons are harnessed to power wind turbines, or where the heat of a fire-breathing beast is used to fuel our cities. The economic implications are staggering. Monsters could become the new oil, a resource to be exploited. But with this exploitation comes inequality, as nations vie for control of these powerful creatures. Now, let's take it a step further. Picture a battlefield where the roar of a chimera drowns out the sound of gunfire, or where the sight of a kraken rising from the sea sends chills down the spines of soldiers. The military use of monsters could lead to a new arms race, with nations competing not just for nuclear capabilities, but for control of mythical beasts. But in this race for power, we must not forget the cost. Monsters could become pawns in the games of power, leading us into uncharted territories of conflict. Monsters in our world, a fascinating, terrifying, and enlightening thought. We've ventured together through this hypothetical landscape, exploring the profound ecological impacts, the radical shifts in human society and culture, the leaps in scientific understanding, and the complex ethical considerations and potential military uses. These mythical creatures, in their exaggerated forms and unnatural abilities, challenge our definitions of normal and other. Their presence would force humanity to adapt, evolve, and learn to respect the diversity of life in all its strange and terrifying forms. From the apex predators to the gentle giants, every monster would bring a new dynamic, disrupting the delicate balance of our ecosystems and our societies. This thought experiment has not only stretched our imagination, but also served as a reminder of our impact on our planet.